You can never treat your body physically bad and then expect to feel mentally well. Exercise is as powerful a tool as any pill. I think so many times people live life in such a way that you treat your body poorly, you treat your mind poorly, and then eventually it gets bad enough that you approach a doctor and you hope that a pill can sleep for you and can eat for you and can exercise for you. That's never gonna happen, okay? It's the basics of physical health are the tools and the seeds for producing and facilitating good mental health. Going into high school, my family, we moved. I was popular, I was a good athlete, I was a great student, but then I would go home and I would start having these really dark feelings. Frankly, I would sit looking out my window every night. I would just kind of fantasize about jumping in front of a car. Then I'd wake up and I'd go be a good boy, and I would come home and I'd go straight to my room, and I didn't know what was going on and my parents didn't know what was going on, but it led to a lot of fights and it led to a lot of hard times that eventually led to me moving out when I was in high school. I went to college and kind of only got worse. Then I met my girlfriend that turned into my wife, and I sat her down and I said, hey, Mallory, you need to understand that depression and anxiety are a big part of my life. If we're gonna get married, then I need you to know that before. We got married, we started a business. We ran a business for about 10 years and we had children. Our business had some success. Some good things happened. And despite the physical, outwardly success, in my mind was just a hurricane of sadness and despair and hopelessness. I kept thinking that, oh, when we sell our business, I'll feel better. Oh, when we raise millions of dollars, I'll feel better. When we get this amount in revenue, I'll feel better. Nothing could calm the pain in my mind. In 2022, my son passed away. My sadness was coupled with grief. I feel so sorry for anyone that understands grief. I thought I knew sadness, but coupling all of those feelings and my pre-existing struggles with grief and heartache and the loss of my son was just impossibly hard, and it's still impossibly hard. A month later, we sold our business. That milestone that I always set my sights on, right? That'll be the thing that makes me happy. And yet selling our business changed nothing. That kind of led to a downward spiral over the next 18 months or so. In January of this year, my pain had been coupled with anger, and just an anger that I hadn't really felt before. I was just so angry. Like I wanted to be with my son again. I didn't get to know him very well. And I was just angry, and I waited for my kids to go to sleep, and I kind of encouraged my wife to get out of the house, and I took a handful of 2 pills that shouldn't be combined together, and I thought I would just lay down and go to sleep, and instead I kind of panicked, and I called my wife, and I said, hey Mal, sorry. It'd be easier to talk about if I wasn't still going through some of the stuff, like this is pretty fresh. But I said, hey Mal, I was pretty incoherent, I'm sure. But I told her to hurry home and that I loved her. And so she freaking bolted, right? I think she understood what was going on. And then I called 911. And somehow, I don't remember the call, but I know that the call dropped because they came guns blazing on me. I don't remember much, but I do remember my wife and my daughter walking by when I was on the floor. I remember the look that my daughter gave me. I remember meeting eyes with her. Despite all the paramedics and all the noise, I remember my daughter giving me a look. And that was a look that I never want to make her give me again. Now I've changed my life through activity. I've changed my life through exercise and discipline with my sleep and my nutrition, finding love for myself and for others, and finding human connection strengthening and deepening those relationships that mean something to me. That's where real happiness comes from, being able to sit by yourself and feel okay. And I'm not okay, right? I'm not healed. I've been dealing with this for so long that I don't know that I'll ever move beyond it, frankly, but I've picked it up and I've tamed it in some ways, and I've harnessed it for good. I used to think that if I was doing everything right, that I would feel good and life would be easy. I think one of the big things I've learned over this journey over the last 12 months to get into good physical and mental shape and take care of myself is that even when you're doing everything right, things can still be very hard. You know, in video games, if you're cruising around and nothing's happening, it's easy and there's no bad guys, you're not going in the right direction, right? And I think in life, it's the same way. Even though I'm putting forth all this effort, I still get met with these impossibly hard days. And that's where I really find out what I'm made of. I am undefeated against every hard thing that's come my way. I have the power and the strength to overcome them because I've overcome all the other things that have come my way. And I've now learned to empower my mind and my body to be ready to tackle those hard things when they come. And I know that everyone can do that. A couple years ago, I was 165 pounds, in horrible shape. I was eating horribly. I was not sleeping well, and I was really, really depressed. And now I'm 195 pounds. I am in great shape. I'm eating well. I'm exercising daily. I'm sleeping, 8 hours a day. And I'm still, frankly, really depressed. But the difference is now I've learned how to conquer and beat my demons. A lot of times when people talk about other types of sicknesses, if I were speaking about cancer, a lot of times you would assume I've beat cancer and I've overcome cancer, and I can tell you how to overcome cancer. I am still in the thick of it right now, and I'm just trying my best. So many people feel alone, and there are times when I feel alone, and I want everyone to know that you are not alone in these types of feelings. Some of the best people on earth have gone through impossibly hard things. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean you're defective or broken. Great people go through hard things, and that makes you pretty great. That makes me pretty great. It's kind of, thanks dude. It's kind of the story, I guess. It's unfinished. There's no ending yet.